Hello and welcome back to Soundcheck by Learner to Learner, a collaborative learning channel where we all come together and learn about audio. Soundcheck is, like its name suggested, if you have any audio related question generally, or if you have your sound system that you want us to listen to you, soundcheck for you, you can do so. How do you do that? You go to the website that I just now put in the chat. I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to drop that chat in there. And also, you can also go to when you are at the website, you can also click on the call in with Zoom button, and that would allow you to hit a registration page. Simple, just your name, just verify that you are who you are and not just a bot or some Zoom bombers, which we've also experienced. I cannot wait for Aaron to come back and tell us who was there with us. I can't remember who else were there when my live stream was Zoom bombed. Were any of you there?
Yes, I was.
You were? Okay, so Ron was there. It was horrific. We don't need to talk about it. And
why not talk about it?
I reacted as quickly as I possibly could. Shut everything down. Yes. Got rid of the
two
video.
Charleses.
Oh wait, yes.
He's multiplying.
Okay, so I'm gonna do. I always give Charles priority. Now there's double knee. Actually, Arthur is the one, but I think he's having webcam issue. So that's Arthur. USB. Speaking of cables, I don't know if it's cable related, but Arthur, take your time. We'll be here. So let's welcome our guests who are here. Charles is here joining us. And we also have Rob here. We have Matt joining us as well. Actually, I never got your location. I know Charles, Tennessee, Nashville. Yep. And then Rob is in Florida, I know. And
Charles,
where are you?
Here in Nashville?
Oh, you're in Nashville
I'm an hour south.
Where's that? I mean, I'm in Bellevue, so
I'm in Bonnaroo.
Okay.
I never get to. We talk about like meeting. When my niece was still, where's the place that she lives? I've already forgot. So it's
how would I
out
know
of
that?
Nashville. No, Charles.
Franklin.
Franklin, yes. So she's there, but she's moved here to Kansas City now. So Don't need to go to Nashville anymore.
Well, shame on her.
And then
if you're watching this, I liked you until I heard that.
and you're in Matt. You're in Nashville.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in Nashville proper.
Mhm.
I'd rather be in Williamson County, less taxes and less stupidity.
And
come down where I live. You'll love it even more, even less tax.
We bought this condo, which is great because we're 65 and I hate yard work, and so they handle everything. So that part's great. We're 3 miles from one child. This is what happens when you get old. See, I'm 3 miles from 2 grandchildren and 1 mile from another grandchild. and about 15 miles from the other 4.
There you go. I know John IT is New York.
Yes.
And
New York area. Yep.
yeah, and same state as me in Missouri is Nee. Welcome back, Nee.
Yep. Thank you very much.
And my Clubhouse friends, let's hop over to Clubhouse and say hello to my Clubhouse friends. Of course, Ray, who's on stage now. She wanted to ask something, or at least say something earlier in the Roadcaster user meetup. Are you able to say hello, Ray, at least for now?
Yeah, hi.
Ray, also in New York City.
It's me. I just wanted to ask you a question, John. How
Sure.
are you doing on YouTube? How's your data and everything going? Are you making any money from it yet?
No,
or?
I only have 103 subscribers, so no money making yet. I mean, my other channels, yes, but not this one. But that's okay.
That's
I'm not
great.
doing this for money yet.
I know, but I'm so proud of you, and
Thank
thank you
you.
always for remembering me. I appreciate you.
Of course.
You have another channel?
Oh, I have, yes. My podcast, my podcasting channel, which
You
you
haven't
can
even shared it.
it's in a different language, so you don't even understand it. So, but you can Google search. I'm sure you can find out what it is. Okay, Arthur's just joining us back. Then we have Desmond from So Dev. Desmond from Singapore that you're seeing here on Clubhouse on your screen, and also our friend Billy. Billy, welcome on Clubhouse. Billy, you should come join us on Zoom if you want to. And then also King Paco from Massachusetts. Hello. Billy's joining us. And I think Ernesto also saying hello. Ernesto, Tuesday, he's doing homework, I'm sure.
Yeah, John, what is the YouTube channel name? Is it called Soundcheck Time? Get your best?
No, my YouTube channel is actually called Learner to Learner. So
Okay.
but then there are 2 shows, Soundcheck and then Roadcaster User Meetup. Those 2 separate shows.
What are we on? What are you on right now?
I am on it's the Soundcheck show, but Learner to Learner. So I'm gonna put the link. Actually, I have the link here. I thought I did, but I will get the link here momentarily and
Alrighty.
share that with you. Let's see. When you go to the website, you will see Watch Live, and then you click on that, and that should open up the channel here, and it'll tell you what is live streaming right now. That says that 3 people watching. Share. I'm gonna copy the link, and then I'm gonna paste it in Clubhouse for you all. And in the meantime, hello Billy.
What's up, John? Good to hear from you. I would love to jump on Zoom, but I just got done with like a 2-hour show.
Meeting? Oh, show. Oh, yeah, I did see you earlier. Yeah.
I was doing a fun little community hangout, listing some products and things. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah. So
good. I saw you. I think it would pop up on Instagram too, right? You're doing it on Instagram as well.
Oh man, I was everywhere. I was trying to keep up with all the. Well, anyway, I have my main office that I do all my Amazon production out of,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have another office that I do my just live selling. That way I don't have to move around my other office. Anyway, but one office I have. Oh man, somebody installed a speed bump in my neighborhood. Didn't tell anybody. But killed my car.
Are you driving?
I'm like, wow, maybe we should put that on like a document, a memo or something,
At least you
Jeez.
know that speed bump works.
Yeah, it did work. It like
Got that
ripped the
hot
front of my
McDonald's
car out.
coffee.
So anyway, one studio I have my Apple Studio display, another large display, my Elgato teleprompter, and my laptop. And then in this secondary studio, it's just my laptop and a secondary monitor. So I'm like, how do I operate with two monitors? So anyway, I was missing chats and stuff was hidden all over the screen. It was terrible. I mean, it was a fun show, but I missed a lot of fun people I would have liked to harass,
I don't,
online. So
you
it
know,
was
like
fun.
doing stuff. Oh, Atlas here. Yay. Okay. Now, how many people do I have now? It's really hard. 6 people. So I need to figure out the layout for 6 people and Clubhouse. Yay. I finally get to use my layout that I painstakingly worked on the first couple of months of using Ecamm. Now I'm about renewal of my subscription is coming up. I mean, there's no doubt I am not thinking about not resubscribing it. I use it so much. I'm able to do so much more compared to when I was on OBS. I mean, I can do what I can do here on OBS. It's just that I'm a lot more stressed.
It's easier on Ecamm.
Yeah, it's easier.
But you're learning so much.
Yes.
This is like super brilliant. I mean, John, come on, give yourself credit.
Yeah. I am learning. I am having fun learning, and I'm glad I actually get to learn the software while doing this. In fact, because when Ecamm first came out with the Zoom integration, that's when I decided, oh my gosh, I can start this new channel. Because John Lowe has been asking me to create a podcast of some kind that's recorded so he can go back and listen to the conversation if he couldn't join. And so, so for some people, I think those of you who are watching this, YouTube knows who you are, because I've met so many people that the channel is being served. It is very niche, and it's very, like, my channel is like 100 people, 100 subscribers. So people, you get served, and you found something that you like and ended up staying and ended up joining, being part of that show. It's because YouTube knows what kind of content you're liking. So, so welcome those of you who are watching this. And if you want to be part of the panel and come on to the learning squad and learn together, feel free to do so. Go to the website and there'll be instruction there on how to join. In fact, I am thinking about, I'm going to create a video or maybe 2 telling people how to prep for when they have an audio issue and they want to come on Zoom. Show a video showing people how to turn on original sound for musicians. And also, what is the other one? There's 2 that they needed to do. Oh yeah, same thing. And then even once you turn that on, you still need to click it to activate it. Because you turn it on in the setting, it's not activated yet until you come back to the chat window and then turn that back on. So I'm going to plan on doing that. Anyway,
you want mine on or off?
You don't, I mean, I'm not sound checking you, so you can have it off. It's fine. If it's on, that's okay too. It's off. Okay. So we will probably hear the real sound of what it is if you have original sound for musicians turned on, which sometimes is a bad thing if it's noisy, right?
I can turn my air conditioner back on if it's off. Right?
So go ahead and turn it on, because I think last time when we set your Rodecaster OG up, it was, you have original sound on and it was fine. It was good. As long as you had your AC off. And he's in Florida. And also say hello to Sarah. Sarah, too, last week came over and we were busy doing all our testing and conversation, and we didn't get to properly hear Sarah's sound booth. I'm not sure if she's in her sound booth, because a couple of weeks ago she said that she's in the sound booth now in her co-working space, and there's a sound booth and she wanted to let us hear it. She came up for a little bit and then we have to move on because we were busy talking about other things as well. Anyway, you see the full panel. There's something that bugs me. You see this screen, you all? There is like a hairline of the background showing up, and I don't like that. On the left side, so this panel,
that white line.
this panel, yes.
Yeah. The white line.
Yes.
The little,
Let's
well, it's
see.
kind of a
Wait.
There you go.
cyan line, or maybe
It's back
white.
again.
Okay, so hang on.
I'm looking at it on the.
Yes, it's the cyan line. Is it gone? No, it's still a hair there,
Yes,
half
now
a
it's
pixel.
gone.
It's a half a pixel there. Then the left side. Hang on. That's it. So bear with me. I'm gonna. Oh dang!
But then
I'm
John,
doing it live. My OCD.
Is this what you call OCD?
But I think the left side has a little hairline now. So hang on. Let me adjust
I mean, you can
it
put it
wider.
in a border.
Then I don't want it because OCD has
But then-
choices too.
Our new sound producers.
Okay, there you go.
were,
I think it's done.
Really particular.
It's done.
John, but then it doesn't say best well. Like, that's also bothering me.
No, that's I can do that. I just scoot that over. There you go.
There you go.
Remember
If
how?
moderators
Remember
come out.
how stressed? I don't know if you
The
remember. but
John Ong
I-
effect.
I remember how stressed I was when I first started to, yes, I can do a whole lot more with Ecamm, which is what I'm doing right now. But I also don't know Ecamm a lot back then. So changing stuff on the fly is very stressful for me. But I feel like I've embraced all the working in progress live streams that people will probably now come to expect. So I don't mind doing all the tweaking now. Let's say hi to Arthur. Yeah, we haven't said hello to Arthur yet. Hello, Arthur.
Sound check.
Hey, good now. You got your
Oh, look,
device
now
back.
Now he's talking through his device.
His DLZ Creator Pro. Is it? I forgot what
Yeah,
the full name is.
I've been spending the better part of the day and yesterday because I entered myself into a challenge with a fellow English teacher. He says, which one of us is actually going to bite the bullet and actually get some stuff up on their YouTube channel by the end of the week? You're on. So
There you go.
I've been trying to. I was.
What kind of stuff do you do? Like English related things?
Yeah.
Teaching English.
I've been on Clubhouse for 3.5 years, almost 4 years, teaching English. Not all of it was English. First of all, it was just a bunch of different rooms, and then the better part of it, though, was going into the English language rooms and helping people get an appreciation of the English language and dive into it. And as we did that, I thought, you know what? Since I'm quote unquote retired, I said, why don't I just get a teaching certificate? Yeah, see if I can get a English teaching certificate for international students, foreign language learning students, meaning foreign language learners. So I did that, and I'm maintaining my community fairly well. I have a pretty loyal following, and they're following me into different platforms as I go from Clubhouse to High Local. And as I mentioned to you, earlier
Cheddar.
today,
Yeah. Cheddar Social.
Yeah, and I see that you're not as sanguine about it. As
Well, I have to like I said, I'm going to repeat what I said to you. I tried Cheddar for several weeks, maybe about a month, when it first launched, and it was the audio quality. Like I would probably bring my audio side of things over there because I forgot his name now. Nelson? Is it Nelson, the founder?
Yeah.
So he's been to Soundcheck on Clubhouse before, and we've chatted about this new app, and I'm very supportive. Like I'm not loyal to a specific platform. I am on any platform that I find useful and I'm intrigued by it, I will go try it out. So when I tested it out, it was not quite mature yet. Obviously, they just launched. Like they just launched the first public beta at that time.
This was like last
Well, not
summer?
even public beta actually. It's a close beta testing. So there's no algorithm, which means you're seeing all the rooms that you do not like, and therefore there's a lot of fighting going on.
I don't know what time frame that was, but they started, I think, in last April.
July. July, I think, was when I was fairly active there. So the audio was not quite ready. But what bothered me was they were talking about how great the audio is, but I'm not hearing it. So I was like, is it that great? If they're all like everybody here, like clap, wow, it's really like it's like a movie. Of course, I was also new, so I asked around and say, is my app not hearing what they're hearing? What am I missing? I'm not hearing stereo. And
Well, for someone like yourselves who noticed the differentiation
Right,
between
right.
pixels going in the wrong place.
Yes, yes.
I would think this is important to you. And of course, sound is a very important issue to all of you and to me. And there were at the earlier stages of this. And without getting into the politics of one app versus the other app, and a lot of it was, I wouldn't say based on politics, but some degree of frustration with what House was doing, not doing. This guy said, well, somebody asked him, why don't you just create your own app? And he goes, okay. So that's what he did. Yeah. And he got this team together. And I noticed a few of the people there on the team. And I was like, I said, what are you doing here? And so I'm kind of impressed from what I recently saw. And I don't know if you saw them recently or
the ones I saw, I think they were very excited. There was YouTube integrate or video, like you can turn on your video on the app and all that. So I have to be fair, if in order for me to give you my opinion that it's fair, I have to go back and revisit the app and see where things are, because I understand that they are new, and as long as, like I would say 99.9% of people there do not care if they're hearing stereo. And so they got to get the app working first before they pay attention to the audio quality and the fidelity of the sound. I understand that. My issue with that was they were talking about it. Oh, it sounds amazing. And then I'm not hearing it. But anyway, that's besides the point. That's back in July. I will give it a try. And when I do have time to do that, I will come back and give you a report on my opinion.
If I can just close this discussion off about Chatter itself as an app. I just want to give a few people a little context as well. So this guy who was like, he headed up Million Man March. It was one of those clubs that I saw all the time in Clubhouse, but I never went in, right? Because I was like, what are these 1,000 people doing here talking about stuff? And then I jump in, I go, oh my God, it's crazy. He was a leader of that. He was one of the leaders of that community. And so someone challenged him when, things were not going in the way they would like in Clubhouse. And then they had the new app that changes in late 2023s. Somebody said, well, if you don't like it, why don't you create your own app, like I said. And so he did. And fast forward about slightly over almost a year now since they started building the app. They're a few months away from going public. So right now it's an invitation only app, kind of like what Clubhouse was back in 2020, right? And so they're completing version 2 coming up soon. And then after that, they're going to release it. So if you can get an invitation, if you're really, really, really super seriously interested, let me know. And then check it out, just see what it's like. But it's got audio, it's got video, you can stream into it. It's kind of pretty interesting. But there's a lot of TBDs there.
Yeah, I have 10 invitations sitting in there. So if you want to, you can let me know. But I'm very selective too, like who I give it to, because as you were saying earlier, because again, I don't know if algorithm is activated yet. It wasn't when I was in there, so it could be a little bit chaotic, just like the early days of Clubhouse. You know. Anyway, back to our audio thing. I want to let Ray ask her question, since she was already up here since the Roadcaster room. Ray, do you have any question for us? Audio questions?
No, I don't have any questions today.
Okay,
I just want
just hanging out with us.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out, listening and learning and growing, and being your friend from New York City.
Thank you.
How you doing, Ray? Been a while.
We got great. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm just kind of hovered and doing a lot more than I shouldn't be doing, but I'm here.
All right, I see.
How are you, Nee?
Go ahead, Nee. He gives a thumbs up.
I'm good, Ray.
And
yeah, I know you just came back from where? Japan?
Korea.
Or you was in
South Korea.
Korea.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I see a bunch of guys holding up their... Oh, that sounded so wrong.
Oh, really, John? on, really?
Sorry.
That was bad.
I mean, a few people was holding up their XLR cable or some sort of a cable, and so I thought I should go over there. You have your Rode. Was it an XLR cable, a USB cable? What is
Yeah.
it? XLR cable.
XLR.
Hey,
Rode.
what do you think of the Rode XLR cable?
So remember, I'm in Nashville, where either I get custom done cables or I get Megami Studio Gold. But I was at of all things, a garage sale, and a guy was selling 4 25-foot Rode cables.
Wow.
For
Different colors?
$25. $25 for
Wow,
4.
you can't. Yeah, you can't beat that.
You can't. I mean, that's for an audio guy. You just can't pass that up. And so I got them, and they're quite
decent.
good.
Yeah.
And were they all different colors?
Yeah, there's
All 4?
So what colors do you
a
have?
pink one, there's
Blue.
a pink one, a red one,
And a blue and a green.
a lime green one, and I think a blue.
Yeah. It's like the
But see,
the set.
being an audio guy, black was. You had a choice between black and worn out black. That was kind of when you're running cables for a concert or something like that. It's all black. So
I'm seeing. Okay, sorry, my OCD kicked in again.
But the one thing about cables is I see people doing stupid things on both directions. One is they buy a cheap mic and they put a Megami cable on it.
Which
Or
overkill would that be?
I saw somebody the other day, I won't mention the person's name, who had a Neumann,
Neumann.
U87, a $4,000 mic, and they had an Amazon basic cable on it, and they were wondering why it wasn't working right.
Well, because he spent all the money on the
spent all his
Neumann.
money on it. He can afford cables, so why not go for that Amazon Basic?
I mean, I have that cable. I have that microphone right now. The U87.
Yeah, I know. Because
But do you have an Amazon Basic with it?
Definitely not. I only use 2 cables.
Yeah.
I only use Mogami Gold and Canary Starquad.
Yeah, those are. But I tell people, because I get asked questions about audio all the time. What's first thing? The first thing is check your cable. And these Rode cables, for the price, they're normally prices about $1 a foot. So $25 for a 25-foot cable, and they're quite good. Are they Megami Gold? No, but you're probably not going to tell the difference on most people's setup. But my theory is you should spend 10% of the mic. So if you have $100 mic, then get a $10 cable. But if you're on a U87, I'm on a Lewitt that's 400. Put a good cable with it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna show you. Wait, I think I figured this out. Maybe yes. Okay, so here's my really expensive Mogami cable.
Wait, you got a Mogami Gold?
Yeah. Well, it's
I saw it in your list, your equipment list.
As long as when I say as long as, it's like the actual length. As long as I need it, because it's so expensive. I was like,
they are very expensive. Yeah.
I'm just gonna get just enough for me to connect to my Rodecaster.
Yeah.
So,
but that cable is gonna last forever.
Forever, yeah, unless you damage it.
Yeah,
it's like a good mic. I mean, I have some Sennheiser 416s. I have 2 of them that are over 20 years old.
Yeah, see?
Oh, you know
Once
what?
you get a good mic,
I ended up having 2 because when I first started, I was using my Rodecaster OG, which is it's the SM7B was very it's very gain hungry, right? So I actually have a cloud lifter,
right?
So I actually bought 2 cables, one for it to go into the cloud lifter, and then cloud lifter will go into my Rodecaster OG. But then when I reconfigured, now I thank goodness it's long enough. One cable now, just go back to my. Oh, did I have two connected together? I can't remember. So I'm using it now directly to. I don't have to use my cloud lifter anymore with the Rodecaster Pro 2.
Yeah, you actually shouldn't use a cloud lifter.
It's noisier
with the with the Rodecaster 2. It adds noise.
With that, what do they call it? Revolution preamps.
Preamps.
I just checked. Revolution preamps over here. This thing right here. I can't see. Anyway, I'm too lazy to.
They're great preamps, no question. But I mean, so is Mackey's. There's a lot of good preamps out. That's not really the issue. The trouble with the Shure mic is it just requires a lot of power.
That's why they came out with the SM7B DB,
which is they put a cloud lifter in there.
Yeah, we talked about that last. Yes, they actually. I was asking Nee, is it they actually put like cloud lifter thing in, and they did.
Yep.
Hey, so question: can you turn it on or off?
Yes.
Is there a switch on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Nee gonna say something, and then Rob.
So, talking about Rode, Shure put in a cloud lifter in that thing, right? So there's a company in Nashville that was actually doing it. And then after, I don't know whether maybe Shure saw that and then they killed that guy's business because it was around the same price. But the question I was going to ask, right? Matt was asking, Matt was saying, sometimes that way around, they buy a cheap microphone and then they buy an expensive cable, right? Is it over? Would it be the user's preference? Maybe this person just likes the Shure. Is it a 57? And just want to put an expensive cable on it just for it to sound
well, I guess
good.
I mean, not as in price tag, probably. Maybe build.
There's reasons to do it. Like if you're starting out and you can't afford the mic you want, but you're going to get a good mic, then it's fine to get the good cable because, as John said, you buy a Megami Gold, it's going to last until you damage it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it has a lifetime warranty.
Yeah.
How much are those cables, by the way?
I don't know.
You're looking at $5 a foot.
Yeah.
Wow.
I am. In fact, you can find out on my. If you go to the show description, there's a link there.
So $5 a foot. So every paycheck, I'll buy a foot. I'm just kidding.
Let me see. Mogami Go Studio 15 is what I've got. Let me see what is the price right now.
A 25 foot is probably like $90.
Yeah, see, my advantage is the studios get them at a discount.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's lovely. I need to start shopping.
Okay, I have a 15 foot. It was $75.
Yeah. So the 25 is going to be like.
It was very ouchy for me. But here's the thing. Sean was telling me, at that time, I just got my I just got my SM7B. And I was like, do I want, just spend money? Do I want to get like a cheap cable? He's like, why would you plug in a cheap cable, especially the connector onto it? At that time, to me, it was expensive, not Neumann expensive, but it was still like over $300, right? Into the XLR connection of like a really cheap connector on it from the cable. I was like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. So I decided to do it so that I've never plugged in cheap cable to the quote expensive microphone for my.
I've talked to people at the tech support for several of my companies, Shure and Earthworks, and they get calls every week by Amazon cable that won't come out of the mic.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
Jeez.
Trace Audio, is that the one that they put sound a cloud lifter onto their
Yes. Yes. That's Trace Audio.
So why don't we talk about this? Why do people pay the extra money for the more expensive cable?
Well, the Megami, there's John had it before. There's two connectors and two types of cables that are manufacturers that have. Okay, most people don't know this, but when you do electrical work, it's a thick copper cable. Mm-hmm. When you do sound work, it's cables that are braided because sound travels on the outside of the cable and you need lots of paths for it to work right. So if you have a really nice speaker cable, it's going to be a braided cable of some sort.
I see.
Okay. But the problem with the Amazon ones is on both ends. It's the connectors are cheap, with means they don't. You know what the tightest tolerance of anything there is? This will shock you. It's Lego blocks. Lego blocks have some of the tightest standards of anybody, but
because otherwise it won't fit.
So they won't fit.
Yeah.
Well, there's not a lot of leeway between the mic and the where it plugs in. So a bad, a piece of paint that's stayed, or a piece of metal that isn't smooth will stick on it. It could happen. So those are the two things: the connector and now the gold, Mogami gold, and I don't know if anybody else knows them. They are actually gold plated leads, and so gold is the best conductor of electricity there is. The reason you don't have gold cables is because most of us are not Elon Musk.
Yeah. Because if you look at the Mogami Gold male end, you'll see it's actually gold tip as well as canary starquad. The cheap Amazon ones are mostly silver tip.
You said canary
they're
what? Canaries?
Aluminum, yeah. Starquad, yeah.
Yeah, Canary's the other good brand. Again, it's on tour. You have a guy that you have that cable in a 1,000-foot row, and you have the soldering iron, and you just do it all you do them yourself. You have a guy that's in charge of soldering, because you always have to, you break a cable all the time.
Yeah, that's great.
There are some. So if like I just like randomly looking and if you go and find like a less expensive, but they say it's gold plated and 15-foot is $30, mine is $75. Do you take
It's
the
not
chance?
only that. It's not only that. The cables like Canary and Mogami, they're also shielded. So if you run the cable along like a power cable, you won't pick up that electric buzz. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
Is the quality of the copper is a very clean. I've noticed this with Ethernet, which I know we're not talking about, but it's true with Ethernet. I got some Ethernet cables from Amazon the other day, and I was kind of just trying to get soften up, and it broke. The cable inside broke.
Oh.
Because I pull out my tester, and it was working when I first got it, and I was trying to get it to bend around the spot, and so I was kind of playing with it, and the copper was so cheap inside that it broke.
Wait, there's Mogami Platinum?
So
I've never heard of Platinum.
So last week we were talking about the white cable that I was supposed to throw away. Which is right here.
But did you? I thought you threw it away.
I didn't throw it away.
You just put it into the junk pile?
Well, I figured out what was going on. It ran right past the Ethernet.
There you go. Shield issue.
And it is shielded. It's double shielded. But it is from Amazon.
Well, the thing is, I got my Mogami Gold from Amazon, but this is made by Amazon Basics? Oh, no.
Oh.
No. My Mogami Gold was purchased from Amazon, but I think we're talking about like the Amazon Basics one that's really like, I know, $10 or something.
I paid a little bit more for this one. It's not
That's
gold
a pretty long cable, though.
Yeah, this one's a little bit longer because I routed it all the way around. But I ended up just moving my my tower, and I went and tried it. I didn't keep using it, but I went ahead and tried it and ran it to the road, back to the mic, and it was clean. So.
Wow, Mogami
but
Platinum.
Ultimately, I went with my better cable,
which is what? Which is what? What's is it because it's not going over an electrical source, or do you think it's a better
right
cable?
next to the? This cable that I'm using.
Yeah,
this is one that Sweetwater recommended. I don't even know what it is. They just said, "Here, get this."
Okay. I was showing
John,
you the
I'm
platinum.
sorry. I do have a question. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, we'll wrap this conversation and we'll come back to you, okay? This Mogami Studio microphone cable, 25-foot, $144. This is the platinum one.
I've never used that. I have no idea what that entails.
My understanding of that was somebody wanted. I'm not going to mention names or genres, but somebody wanted a more expensive cable, and so Mogami created it for him.
Oh gosh.
I heard from a rep on this, so I believe him.
Well, myself.
I mean, you can't blame him. I mean,
it's a business. If you have a market,
I mean,
I mean, it's the only one on Amazon that is the platinum cable. So I was like, not that I would ever need a 25-foot studio cable, but for my particular use. But
especially if you're using a headset.
That's right. Yep.
So do we only need this?
Look, Ma, no wires. Yeah.
We only need this high quality cable just for a mic, or do we need this in every aspect of XLR?
I run it for everything.
You
XLR.
want it in everything. Yeah.
So this is the only XLR cable you would use, Mogami Gold. Is that what you have?
Canary Star Quad. Only those two.
Okay. What is the longest cable that you use in your production or in your usage? What is the longest XLR cable you have? 500
feet.
Yeah, he's in music for real. Probably like 50 feet for me.
50. Because yours is mostly video production environment.
I do video and audio. Yeah.
So let me ask this question to Matt, because I get into this anytime I get into some of the bigger productions in the area. Oftentimes we'll have issues with XLR boxes, stage boxes, throw boxes, whatever the heck you want to call them. What's your recommendation when it comes to that for, anywhere from 12, 10, 12 leads or more? Do you have a preferred brand?
Well, yeah, you want to today, not talking years ago when all we had was XLR. Today, you want to run it through Dante, through an Ethernet cable, and then switch. They have boxes at both ends that convert it back out. Or most soundboards now take Dante straight in.
Gotcha.
And that would allow, because that would allow for a longer distance without losing signal.
For the Eras tour. Is it like I didn't do the Eras tour. I'm retired, but I know people that worked on it. She had, if I heard the number right, she had over 2 miles of Dante cable.
What are they made of? Dante cables?
Dante are high end, or kind of like Ethernet. The Mogami version of Ethernet cables. Okay. They got to be really good quality.
And what material is it in there? What is the conductor?
It's copper.
It's copper too. Yeah. Okay.
Because Dante is an internet protocol.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I see.
I have a soundboard, but it doesn't have Dante, but it does have the internet connections. Can I use that?
If it's not Dante, then it's
doesn't have
probably
the Dante hookup. It's the Personas board.
It has to be Dante.
There's others. You got the IP. The new Black Magic is starting to do the 2110.
Something like this. Is this like this? Is this what you're talking about?
Dante.
Like Dante?
Yeah.
But there's another. Let me look it up real quick because I'll never remember it.
So it's like the four XLRs and then one Ethernet.
Yeah, so we use this at our theater because we get into it gets into this huge problem with cable management, because if we have to run temporary solutions for whatever production, we run into the issue of, if you're using the old style throw boxes that are XLR, you've got this massive snake that's going down the middle of the freaking auditorium.
That's what Billy drove through earlier.
Exactly. But I've looked at several of these, and it's because this throws in a whole nother component of, yes, you have the cabling, but then you also have the hardware itself. And how is that built inside of that device? So there's a lot more components to it, and the only thing that made me think of this is when he was talking about, he has a 500-foot cable. I'm like, I can relate to that. Having to go that distance in theaters, it's not uncommon.
Do you have to put some kind of signal booster or something for long distance?
Not for 500. Okay. There is a limit. I've never got there.
Okay. I'm gonna.
But the new Blackmagic, the new internet protocol is 2,110. It's IP, and it's what they're running. Blackmagic has a new presenter module where you can run HDMI and the sound all over this one cable.
Cool.
Doesn't sound like something I'm ever going to need. The only thing I'm going to be hooking up to, I'm going to get the Push 3, and it's going to be using an ADAT into my interface so I can run multiple channels.
Okay, so if you won't mind me, I'm going to hop over to Ray and see, let her ask her question. Ray, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Mm-hmm. I brought some new headphones today from I just brought a new phone from iPhone 14 Plus, and so I got the headphones, but I keep getting static electricity on my ears. Like when I move around, I was doing my laundry, and I had my headphones on, and I keep getting static cling, so I don't know what to do about that. It's
wired?
Like I'm getting a lot of static cling.
Wired headphones?
Yeah, the wired ones.
Is it the one that's by Apple?
Yeah, I just got the ones by Apple. Yeah.
So it was
probably worse because it was like I felt it on the top of my ear. It's like, pss, 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 like that. Pss, pss.
Not the Apple sound, doesn't make. Apple doesn't make wired headphones anymore, do they?
They might still do, actually. Yeah, I think they have USB earpods. They call it earpods.
They do. I got it at Best Buy's. Yeah, they do. It was $20. Yep, they do.
Earpods.
But I don't know what to do about it.
Just return it and exchange it.
Best Buy. You can return anything.
Yeah.
And get a pair of wireless.
I'm not doing wireless because I think wireless, they're reading your brain. So that's how I feel.
What I would, and this is going to be so silly, but it can work, is if you don't want to go through the hassle of trying to return them, I would just return them and see if the next pair did it. What you could do is take a dryer sheet to the entire cable and over the earphones itself and see if that eliminates.
Oh, is it static? You think?
She's saying it's static. So if it's static electricity,
it's static electricity. Yeah. That's what I'm getting.
Or static as a sound, but static like dryness static in the wintertime could also cause that.
Yeah, like static electricity, like you get the pops, like when you feel it on your skin and you feel a little static pop. Yeah, you feel it on your skin.
That is not. That if that's the case, especially, which makes sense, right? Because it rub against your clothing or especially in the wintertime, it will happen. It happens to anything.
That's why I say take a dryer sheet, and it's only because the softener that's on a dryer sheet will lightly coat. You won't even notice it's on there, but just press firmly, pull it across the entire table, wipe off your earphones, and try that and see if that helps.
Give it a try.
It's just a slight coating that will help.
To the cable or to the whole thing, including the earbuds?
Everything.
Okay.
Yep.
It's where it's hitting the fabric. Static is it's not the ear itself. It's right. It's the part where it's touching the clothes.
The fiber.
If you're wearing if you're wearing wool or even cotton.
Yeah.
Especially wool, cashmere.
But it's not going to hurt anything.
Yeah.
No, it's
wiping them down with a dryer sheet.
Right.
No.
There's
give it a try,
potential of hurting it.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
so talking
okay, I'll
about
try that.
so talking
Me?
about talking about cables and talking about Apple, right? There's one thing that I did realize also, buying USB-C cables, like from Apple, and just buying one off Amazon, or just going to the gas station and say, hey, I left my USB cable, so let me just pick one from the gas station. When you actually open it and you look at the internal build of those cables, right? You're gonna realize the reason why you're paying, say, like the USB ones that I bought, the USB Cs that I bought. The reason why you pay more for it is based upon um, the microchips and everything built inside, like properly built, and it's not just a couple of pins that's been stuck inside, right? So that's what I was also thinking about those Amazon basics and stuff like that, which I don't have any hand cables. The only cables I got is the one that Rode gave me for free, and then the Roland that I bought. And my Roland has been, I think I paid like 45 for it, and I've had it for the last, God knows, that's the only cable that I've actually had for
Roland's
long.
a brand name. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm saying that's, yeah. I mean, that's one of the cables that I've had for long. But one thing I realized also, like way long ago, buying cables that is not balanced, or cables that is not shielded rather, is on my drum set, which is a electrical drum set, right? I was getting radio stations. Like I was getting
Picking up
a
the
FM.
radio
I was
frequency.
picking up a FM radio frequency on it, and
Yep.
it wasn't like the good kind. I mean, one time I was just trying to bail with it, and they were having like a bikini commercial on it, and it was just kind of like I tried figuring everything out. I thought it was my grinding in my house, so I went, unplugged all my cables, and didn't think it was the cable till somebody said, "Hey, check your cables and see." And I ended up going to I took the drums to a place for them to check. Nothing happened. The guy was like, "What cables are you using?" I using speaker cable or guitar cable, and I was like, "I thought a cable is a cable, right?" So I end up getting a guitar cable because I was using a drum cable, and I was picking God knows whatever radio stations that was right by me. So I do think it does really matter, what kind of cables that you get. Better get a good one that is going to last you for a very long time. And I had to find out the hard way. So then lately, when I'm buying cables, I wouldn't go to a gas station to buy a USB cable in a pinch. I'd rather suck it up and not waste my money at all, and rather go get a better cable that is gonna give me what I want than
I have a
get
I have a
On a
bunch
real
of
tour,
cables.
on a real tour, you'll have data cables and power cables always a foot apart on separate trays.
Mhm.
And if you cross them, there's
Some people just don't
generally
have them. Power,
what?
you do not have any power cables, just all data cables, and then you don't mix them.
Well, if you can pull that off, but let's face it,
But the thing
everything
is,
needs
like, I
power.
have we all have like a bunch of different cables. That's why I purchased this a few days ago, and it will. I actually have it upstairs. I was too busy to set that up. Maybe next week I'll go through some of the cables, pull them out, and then I put the link in there as well. It's on sale right now. It's a little cheaper, and I bought that so that I can sort through. Especially sometimes when you go through your cables and you may not know whether it's a data cable, number one, and how many, because the connectors are all there. The metal connector that's on the tip itself on the USB-C connector, and then you look at it, they're all there, but there might not be any cable or wire inside connected to those connectors. So this cable would tell me. So I'm gonna pull out all, like, including the one that Rode gave me with the Rodecaster Duo, and test out all the cables and see what they are.
So
That cable tester is 1/20th the cost of the one I use.
So talking about what Rode gave you, right? So there's this micro with this USB-C.
What is it?
It's
Oh,
right here,
oh,
right? If
140 watt. Okay. And is it like a
and
MagSafe?
John, I
Oh,
it's a
have to
it's
tell you
magnetic.
this.
It's
I have to
magnetic,
say
and
this.
I've been using
hang
this
on,
on my
Ray.
Rodecaster. I've been using this with my Rodecaster, so if I just want to just lift, I could just pull it
Oh,
out,
I see.
and then I go, and I use it for my portable
Is it for your
monitor
power
also.
or for your data?
No, for data.
Mm.
Like it does transfer data. I was skeptic about it when I first got it in Korea. I was like, this thing's not going to work. But I tried it, and I mean, it sends video, it sends everything, and it was a lifesaver. So like, I could just lift my Rodecaster and not
If I
worry
had
about
my way,
snapping
all the
my cable.
USB-C cables would be,
You know,
like MagSafe would be
Ye-
magnetic, because you can
yeah,
do that. You can do
it's
like
so
you.
awesome.
They still work fine.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Like it's so John, if you haven't got one, just try this and see. You'll like it.
Ray, what's your question?
No, this sounds like a high fashion tech show. Like I can see you guys walking down the runway with wires all over.
I know. We can collect all the bad USB cable and then turn it into an outfit, a coat,
like a high fashion tech show.
a USB jacket.
Oh my God! It's like an earplug hat. I don't know.
Okay.
It's really quite interesting.
I don't know. I think I'm kind of crashing the party. If I let you guys look behind my mixer and look at these cables, you'd probably be in like absolute. Like,
it's
what
okay.
the hell are you? Why are you using that?
Well,
we've all been through it. Look at all my cables all over again.
I want to make sure that I get a
chance.
chance
for. Don't fix it.
That's right. Yeah. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Don't mess with it. Nope. Marylou on Clubhouse, I see that you're in the audience. I'm not sure if it's just, listening to us, chit chat, talking about audio, or do you have any specific other questions that you want to relay to us? Not sure how your Spotify issue that you were having on your Windows machine, is it still persisting? And if you have any questions, feel free to come on up and chat with us. And hello, Michael Yin from Singapore. Hello. And Tim as well. So Tim also occasionally come into Clubhouse and listen in as well. Okay, so Marylou is up on stage, and let's see what she has. Maybe question, maybe comments. Hello, Marylou.
Hi, John.
Hey,
everybody. I have some information to report that I finally gotten to the bottom of my issue. Streaming music online in Clubhouse.
Yeah.
As it turns out, the gentleman that I bought the laptop from talked me out of 32 gigabytes RAM and 1 terabyte of storage. And he said, "Oh, he won't need that." He said that I told him what I was doing and what was happening. And I went through Spotify. It wasn't Spotify. I talked to a lot of people, and finally they said, your computer just isn't powerful enough. So he talked me into an 8 gigabyte RAM.
Oh.
Wait. You said what? You went from a 32 gig to an 8 gig?
No, I didn't. I wanted one.
Oh, okay.
I asked him for, that's what I mentioned at first.
That
I wanted 16, if not 32 gigabytes
of RAM. Memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then is this the one that you're currently having, the 8 gig of RAM? Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's your computer does not have enough RAM for Spotify? That seems
it doesn't.
Oh. And so how did you know? How did you know?
Well, at first it was it would go through about a couple hours of my room, which lasts anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. And it would stop playing the music loud enough for my room to hear, and I could just barely hear it. And
what browser were you using?
Pardon?
What browser? What internet browser were you using?
I was using Microsoft Edge, and I moved to Google
Chrome. Chrome takes a lot of resources.
Memory hog.
Chrome takes all 8.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. You're kidding. So I should go back
What's
to
that? Blaze? It's not Blaze. What's that security browser that's very low? Opera?
Brave.
There's one that's really low.
Brave.
That's
Brave.
it.
Brave. Yeah, that's
Try the Brave browser.
It's Chromium based. But the other, if you don't want to download a browser, right now you can start off with just using an incognito browser in Chrome. That makes sure that you'll just have to have your login information. But that will make sure that a lot of those ancillary plugins and stuff are not running in the background. It kind of shuts all that stuff off. So it should use less resources. But yeah, definitely Brave's a good suggestion. There's a few others out there that are high security, low resource management. But
And you're
typically
using
on a Windows machine, you typically want more RAM than you do on a Mac.
What do you use your
RAM
browser
as much.
for, Marylou? I'm curious.
Spotify, probably.
I thought she has she runs the app on the computer. No.
No,
Every
I run
computer has
Spotify from the computer, and
Okay.
the app is on my iPhone because it all toggles down.
Yeah. So and if you just run Spotify without any browser, that would be okay too, right? Because you don't use the browser. If
You mean
exit out of it and just run
in the app?
just
There's a
run
web player.
Spotify on your computer.
I did that. Now it won't play the song at all.
So here's another. So
you can generally
the fact that you say that, and so the fact that she says that it plays it loud enough for 2 hours roughly,
Yeah.
and then it still plays, but it's not as loud. That tells me it's
not a RAM issue.
That I don't think that's a RAM issue. I think that's an overheating issue.
Oh.
I don't think it's filling up
the memory. The processor's
it's like throttling down. Oh.
Yeah. So what I would recommend, you can go probably on Facebook Marketplace, Walmart or whatever, any big box retailer, get the cheapest like USB powered laptop fan that just sits underneath the laptop. That has at least 2 fans on it. Try that out. If you can get it from a big box retailer, get it from them locally, because if it doesn't work, you can easily return it and get your money back.
Are they noisy? She's singing.
Well,
they can.
The cheaper it is, the noisier it's going to be. I mean, that's just inherent.
It'll be like Rob singing with his AC on.
But try that. Even if you're doing this, and I wouldn't even worry about the room. Just try this outside of the room. Just sit there playing the music for 2 hours and checking it to see if you notice any change. But I think, yeah, they can. But to me, that sounds like an overheating issue.
Can you physically touch it? No, and if it's your laptop, have you physically touch it and see if it's actually warm or hot?
I have it on a stand, an adjustable stand that lifts it up and tilts it toward me. That's the way I want it. And it has cutouts underneath, this on the stand platform.
So getting air then.
So it's getting circulation.
Yeah, but I don't know if it sounds like it. I don't know if that is related. Maybe not related.
I just don't see how RAM would change the volume.
It could only change the volume if it's so close and the cache is getting full and it's trying to go off to a,
but why is it softer? Like like it would probably cut out.
I agree with them. I think it's but even though it's got circulation, if it's clogged up, You know,
I mean,
you
there's
need to
no other
blow
way
it
of
out.
knowing other than like upgrading your computer with more RAM, I guess.
Did she just buy this computer?
Did you have it for a while, right? A year?
I haven't had it a year.
Not
I
yet.
bought it last May.
Okay.
Oh, she bought it in May,
Yeah.
so she can't take it back and get the one with more RAM.
It was working. It was working for a while.
I took it back to him
Uh-huh.
and asked him to put more RAM in it. And he said to me, supposedly he puts things together for you and, and all this blah, blah, blah. This computer is just a Lenovo IdeaPad 3. It was built.
Oh, it's an IdeaPad. Oh, okay.
For 8.
Oh, he built?
No, he did not. Because the reason I think he didn't is because when I took it over, I asked him to look at it and I said I wanted some more RAM. He turned it over and carefully took the back off of it so we'd look inside. And he said, because he said, I need to look at it to see if we can add RAM to it or not.
Yeah.
And so I figured he'd never looked inside the computer, or he's telling me and he's lying.
Oh gosh. So sorry.
Okay, so I will tell you for a fact that if it is an IdeaPad 3, you can definitely have way more than 8 gigs of RAM in it.
That you can put it later on, like you can buy new RAM and put it on.
Right. Now it may only have 2 RAM slots. So Lenovo has done this for decades.
IBM.
They typically have
was it Lenovo IBM?
Correct. So and it's the same thing. IdeaPads, ThinkPads, there's a lot of similarities between them when it comes to this. But typically, when you take that back little panel off, you should see your RAM set.
Yeah.
You will typically see one. You'll typically see one stick, but there's typically 2 slots that are stacked on top of each other. And so typically what you can do is you can put like 2 16 gig sticks in there or 2 8 for 16. Like you can match you can't mix and match. So it needs to be 16 and 16, same speed. So you can't mix and match speeds or sizes. They need to be the same. But I know for a fact that the IdeaPad, I know you could do 24. I almost want to say that you could do 36 gigs of RAM. But I know you can do at least 24 in the IdeaPad 3.
Maybe you go to a different store and ask them to
I would
upgrade
go
your
find
RAM.
someone else.
Yeah.
You just don't want to get a
need to talk
computer
to
with less
someone
than
else.
16 gigs of RAM this day and age.
Yes,
It's just
I'm really
not.
unhappy with him. He talked me out of it, He said, no, you don't need that.
Like Raphael saying 8 gig in 2025, even 2024. It's not quite enough.
Yeah.
Nobody
buys 8 gigs anymore.
I am catching
Not
up
in the
on
new
the
one.
message from Raphael, and he has a funny. He said, "For a second, I always thought that was Sean in the lower right. So it's Atler. Maybe you thought it was Sean." Anyway, Marylou, so where are you now? I mean, you just maybe thinking about a time to upgrade and get more RAM. Is that what it is? I mean, you can just get the RAM, not having to like rebuy a computer.
He took that cover open and he looked inside and he said there is no place to add any RAM.
Don't listen to him.
I would not
go somewhere else.
Or go back to him, or go back to the store and ask for somebody else.
No, it was his business.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Yeah,
I need to find someone else.
Yeah,
Go to Best Buy or
to a
something.
different. Yeah, you can go to, if there's a Best Buy. Is there a Best Buy near you?
Yeah, where I go to shop.
Okay, so just go to the Geek Squad and say, look, can I add more RAM in this? And they will take a look at it and they will let you know. And you'll be able to. At this point, I would probably try. Normally, I mean, I would say find something other than Geek Squad, but based on
it's better than
it is better than what you're dealing with right now. At least there's recourse. If you go through this and you have an experience or something's not working, there's recourse at least to some extent.
Yeah.
Whereas an independent computer shop owner, it is a total toss-up. And you have little
quick question.
Go ahead, John.
Go ahead.
Is it out of the budget to buy a brand new computer? Because even if you update the RAM and you still have that issue, it might be a CPU issue, and that you can't replace.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that was my question.
Raphael says, "Sell it and buy a Mac."
And buy a Mac.
Mini.
Yeah, well,
Buy a Mac Mini.
I'm not going to buy a Mac. It's too different for me. I'm 72. I'm not going to relearn an operating system. I know you love, Apple.
So
it's funny because I have a Mac Mini and I tried to give it to my mom and she's like, no.
Yeah, there you go.
I had to take her to Best Buy and buy her a Windows laptop.
There you go. I mean, I understand you don't want to have to relearn things.
I think he should take this back and give me a certain amount of credit for it.
Good luck with
that. It'll be tough.
In a good world.
It'll be tough to do that.
Well, why don't you go back and ask? Well, why did you go to somebody else, Best Buy, and check to see if it is upgradable, and say, okay, thank you, I'm gonna go back, make some decision, and you go back to that store and say, I went to another guy and they said it's upgradable, so you need to put in additional 8 gig of RAM for me.
I wouldn't do that.
No, because then he's gonna charge her for labor plus the part, and he's gonna, he's just gonna.
I wouldn't go back to that guy. Yeah. I wouldn't go back.
I would cut.
Bring a friend with you.
There is no point in talking to that guy anymore. Honestly,
right?
Charles is 100%.
I don't trust him now.
There you go.
Yeah,
so
there you
go. Go and see if you can upgrade it. But John IT has a good point though, that it could be something else, but then you would have to then shell out that additional money for RAM, and then it may or may not solve the issue.
Because that's a very small processor in that book, if I remember what.
It's like an i5, I think.
No, it was an M3, which is the mobile.
Yeah.
My mother just picked up. My mom just picked up a new laptop there at Best Buy, and I think she only paid around $600. And that thing is really nice. It was an HP. It's got 16 gigs, terabyte, everything. And yeah, it was only around $600. Windows 11, and she loves it. So might want to just think about maybe investing in that and cutting your losses.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe getting and not get a portable, like not get a what is it called?
So to Matt's point, make sure that you are not. If it is a Ryzen processor, stay away from it. If it is a M series processor, you want to make sure that it is not developed from
mobile,
the framework of a mobile chipset. And so a lot of these cheaper laptops have to cut cost.
Yeah.
They essentially take a mobile chipset, beef it up just a little bit, and throw it in a laptop. And really, it's not much different than what you have in your cell phone. So make sure that you're getting, a true Intel Core processor or a true AMD, where there's actually like a number, not like Ryzen. Don't get a Ryzen chip; they're garbage. That's AMD's version of the mobile chip.
This one says it has no, my eyes can't see that tiny lettering. AMD Ryzen. Yep.
There you go. So that's their mobile. Series. That's their mobile chip. So that's the same thing. And if you're not sure, a good way to tell is if you're looking at a Windows-based PC, in that same area, if you're in a store like Walmart or Best Buy, go over to the Chromebooks. If all of this is all a foreign language to me, I don't know what the heck what's Ryzen and everything else. Mm-hmm. The easiest way to tell is if you're looking at a laptop that runs Windows, look at what processor it says it has. It'll say Intel or AMD
i5, i7, i9.
Yeah, but then go over to the Chromebook. If you can find that same processor in a Chromebook, run away from it. Okay.
Yeah, that would
because they only put portable chipsets in Chromebooks, and so that's what I've always told people, that get totally confused on this, like just go to the computer store. If you're looking at a laptop, it will say what kind of processor it is. Then just go over to the Chromebook. If you see that processor on any of those Chromebooks, you don't want that one. Find a different one. Because all Chromebooks are made with mobile processors to conserve power.
Well, and that was
So
another thing I learned, that all laptops have or pretty much all of them have a power or an energy saving feature that kicks on automatically unless you turn it off. And
they can, in the power settings. Yep.
I learned how to turn it off.
So I would recommend the HP Pavilion with an i7 core Intel processor. That would be something I think would be perfect for you. That's what I got my mom.
i7?
Core
with
i7?
An Intel Core i7 processor with 16 gigs of RAM and a terabyte hard drive. I think that would be perfect for you. It's called the Pavilion.
Okay, that's what I had before. Only it was old.
It's by
now,
HP.
Packard.
I'm gonna ask you this: is this the only case that you use this laptop?
The only thing I use it for?
Do you take it with you anywhere?
No.
Do you travel with it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you have indoor animals?
I have
dogs.
a cat.
You have a cat. Okay.
Yes.
Do you ever have younger kids in your house?
No, never.
Okay. Do you ever keep liquids around your laptop?
No, I learned my lesson.
There's reasons why I'm asking these questions.
Desktops are more powerful and cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if this is the only purpose that this is being used for, you can many desktop computers have come a heck of a long way. They are smaller than laptops in many cases. They're they've gotten really powerful and really small packages. You can pick up a nice brand new desktop. The only thing is you're going to have a monitor and a keyboard and mouse. That's the only caveat having a desktop, is that you have to now have more components. But there are a lot of mini PCs out there that run full processors that are very, very capable. And even if you're not comfortable with that, if you're like, look, I don't know, I just want something that I can open up a box, set it up, and it's going to work. There are a lot of full box kits that will come with a monitor. They'll come with a
keyboard, mouse,
PC, and a keyboard and mouse for anywhere from $500 to $800. The nice thing about a desktop is that they are much easier to upgrade over time. So if you get to a point, like, you can even swap out motherboards. So if it gets like 10 years down the road, you can.
I'm sure Marylou will be doing that herself.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, in the late.
But you can take it to a computer store.
In the late 90s,
you can take it to a computer store and do that.
In the late 90s, when I live across from Iowa and into North Sioux City, South Dakota, which is where Gateway computers were being manufactured, and they had a store there, and I could just go up. I had a component desktop, and buy some RAM or buy some storage and bring it back. And if I had problems, I could call them, and I would be talking to an actual person there, and they would help me put it in. I did that.
Well, and you know, there's other benefits with a full size desktop. Is that typically you can get hardware for cheaper. So if you want to get additional RAM down the road, it's usually cheaper than maybe not by a lot, but it's usually a little bit cheaper than what your laptop RAM would cost.
Okay.
The reason I was asking about like kids and fluids and pets and all this other stuff, not only that for the desktop, but a lot of times they're not as sexy looking, but they are proven, and that is the Lenovo ThinkPads. A lot of people discount them. They're probably the most reliable laptop that has ever been on the market as far as a Windows machine. They are virtually indestructible.
That's what I used, was ThinkPads.
They
are. I went around the globe 3 times with one.
Yep. You can't. I mean, you could literally spill. I don't recommend it, but you could
No,
spill
I'm not
a
going to try.
glass of water on the key. I mean, they are
Yeah.
literally built for corporate people to abuse the living heck out of them. That's exactly why they're built. That's what that whole line was for. So I tend to recommend that, if people are traveling and, they've got kids around and stuff like that, I tell them, look, it may not look as nice, but that doesn't matter. It'll last you a heck of a lot longer, than
Yeah.
most any other lap. They use real metal hinges. I mean,
What brand were you talking
there's
about?
just Lenovo ThinkPads.
Okay.
They're the only ones that still use metal hinges, like actual real metal. They're built for quality,
This
for
is
durability.
not it, but
So
I am just opening up the link that Rob put in there. This is not the ThinkPad. This is what this is what your mom got, Rob, the HP Intel Core i7 one.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. This one is almost the same thing. It's only half
Except
a
it's
terabyte on the
yeah.
hard drive, but it's on sale right now, $300 off.
I put the link there, Marylou, for you as well. The key
This
thing
is-
is to get a proper computer,
Yeah.
not a Chromebook that utilizes portable chip, because portable chips are becoming more powerful. But then and then the form factor looks like a regular computer, but the resource is limited sometimes. And ThinkPad too. You can go look for a ThinkPad as well.
The Dell Elites are also good because that's what
Dell
the
Elites.
government buy. Yeah, that's what the government buys or whatever. That's most.
John,
the
I gotta
computers.
go. See y'all next week.
All right, see ya. Thank you, Matt.
I see you.
See ya, Matt.
We should wrap this up too. And I want
Okay.
I want to tell thanks for the update, Marylou, and good luck
Sure.
with the shopping.
Sure.
Now, that
I'll keep
computer was
you-
also touch screen, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little extra feature.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need that.
No, I know, but yeah.
I'm an old school. I use a mouse. I don't even like to use a touchpad.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
as we're wrapping up, wanted to see if there's anybody else have anything to say before we hop off. We actually went a little longer than usual, but it's fun. Good conversation.
Yeah, I thought I'll trade you some coins.
What coins?
Coins?
Yeah,
Bitcoins? What?
I'm looking behind you.
Oh,
Ah.
Oh. look at
I got some chief of staff and some 4-star coins. I'll trade you some
Wow.
coins.
yeah. I work very closely with a lot of folks, and then traveled quite a bit. So I've got a few. That's not all of them.
Speaking of coins, did you hear that the president is eliminating pennies? He signed an order.
Yeah, I just read about that today.
Yeah.
Well,
Interesting.
don't save your pennies now because it's going to worth nothing.
Yeah,
You're saving no money now.
I was putting my 2 cents in, even though it's only a penny for my thoughts.
Well, thank you all for joining us. Thanks, Clubhouse people, and thanks all the people from Zoom. And if you are watching this on a replay, yes, Arthur,
request.
yes.
Check out Chatter. I want to know what you think.
Oh yeah, yes. Wait, who? You talking to me or like?
Yeah, to you.
Yes, I will.
I want you to do kind of a before and after comparison.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do
give me a
that.
sense of whether you think it has improved or it's on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Nozzle?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's working for them.
Ah. No, I did not know that.
And he's the one very much behind a lot of the fixes.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely check it out. And my thing to do there is the audio, and I asked a lot of questions, including through some of their, I guess I don't know, they have represented like volunteer people, like people who volunteer for users who volunteer for Chatter and answer questions to people. And I've tried to ask the question about audio quality, and at that time they just do not have that information just yet. So I will go back and test it and see if there's more people with more information about it, and I'll let you know. And the thing is, like, if a lot of it is not just feature, it's the community itself. And if you enjoy the community there, so for some people, certain audio quality is not at all an issue or a deciding factor. So maybe it may not be something that we have to worry about. But I'm curious, as far as your curiosity, is there anything specific there that you are curious to find out? Because are you fairly new to
Yes.
the app, right?
Yes. I mean, not to extend this room or this that you have too long, but I'll say this. There have been a lot of issues over the last couple years within Clubhouse, if not more, where the user base was getting extremely frustrated. They stuck with it. I'm amongst those people who stuck it out and went through the changes, and we're waiting for various improvements and development, evolution. We're talking about app evolution to take them to another point where we're looking at monetization. We're looking at, a whole bunch of other things. And it seems that many of the expatriates who are now in Chatter and elsewhere, they got to a point that said, you guys
it's
are
that
not.
The app is not going to the direction that some user base are expecting.
There's a lot of, there's tweaks here and there, but they're really going nowhere fast. And so I'd be very interested to know whether a lot of those frustrations are now being expressed in a positive direction within Chatter, because there's a lot of, like I said, there's about 30,000 people there now. And it's a closed app as it is, and they expect to be releasing in a few months. And the way they're talking, they're ready to explode. But that could be hyped.
My thing is, I go into an app testing it without any expectation and not influenced by what they're talking about, because of what I've experienced, multiple apps. I mean, there's Fireside, there is Fanbase and all that. And I've been through all those. And sometimes the reason why I took a step back was they were talking about features that is not quite there. And that gave me second thoughts, like, oh, maybe I'll come back in a bit when they actually get there. And they did talk about having a studio, which is a web-based version of Chatter, and that is paid. So if you want to do better sound and all that, you pay to do a web version of it. That was the last I heard. And then I thought maybe because they were talking about all that sound, it's because they are using a web-based thing that maybe it's not serving to the people who are hearing it. I'm not sure. So I can't be 100% sure. I never told them that, and I think it, but to be fair, I always say, I'm not hearing it doesn't mean that it's not there. It could be me not doing something that I'm not hearing the stereo feed, right? But so I would say go every app hyped about their own app, which is fine. It's perfectly okay. Clubhouse does the same thing, and experience the app like you are a fresh user and not to compare. I mean, you can compare if there are features that they no longer provide on Clubhouse. That's not the direction of the company that the app is heading. Then you find it in a different app. Great.
I think at the end of the day, it is about utility, and
how is it suitable for your usage that you need?
Yeah, I would agree with you that if they're going to say, here's what we would like this app to do, and if you test it, evaluate it, and say it's not doing all those things, that's valid. That's a valid assessment evaluation. For many people using it, the bar isn't very high. They stuck it out in Clubhouse for a long time. They're like, we just want it moving forward and develop. And are you going to give us options to grow, monetize, build our community, etc.? as opposed to go in the other direction. And so if they can do that, I could see people flowing towards it for that.
And also another, I think I shared this with you maybe through our chat about the was it monetization part? What is it that I shared with you? I said it's a startup, and I think I shared that with you too, right? Like I still treat them all as startups, including Clubhouse. They can change direction. They are exploring. They're playing with things and see what stick, and that's part of their job still at this point.
I have a little bit of doubt of calling a Clubhouse a startup at this point.
The company is. The company is still a startup. The app
technically is. I understand.
Yeah. So which means they change directions all the time. It's not like an established company and say, this is our mission statement, we're building this. Yeah. Their investors are letting them play to find what stick, I think. Because it was sticking at first during the pandemic, then it's not. And they change direction all the time. And so it's not something that, do not expect Clubhouse to have a feature that you like that they're going to necessarily stay. Live rooms almost went away. I mean, not went away, but it was like put on the sideline for a long time. Now it's back. Now they're changing the tune again, saying that, we know it's important, but hey, there's asynchronous chat that we're doing. They keep talking about asynchronous chat, and now asynchronous chat got moved away and put into your messages tab.
Yeah, so it's really weird.
So I never expect them to stick anything, because I still treat them like a startup that they're playing. The investors they're not making any money.
I see that as a lack of strategy. I mean, if you're changing direction every several months, okay, and saying, let's see if this will.
I mean, I can't tell you without knowing, what the actual strategy of the company is, because we don't know. And that's why I'm saying I do not give it much hope. And every Clubhouse that I have, and there's a reason why I started the YouTube channel, is I was thinking there is a community here on Clubhouse, not as big as it used to be, but I do have a community here. And I do not want to rely all on one app. They could shutter tomorrow. The investor could pull the plug and it'll be gone. So, definitely, and I totally think it's perfectly fine to shop around and see if there's any other app that would do that. But I would be, whatever you do, if I may, collect people's email. Build your own email list so that you have, wherever you go, you can still get them back.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I think there's a lot of people who have been disparaging and frustrated with Clubhouse. They haven't left. They still got one toe, if not a foot, in Clubhouse. They're exploring other places, but they're also not going to be fully invested in Clubhouse.
Yeah, and like I said, I still haven't found an app where the sound quality is good enough for me to sound check people. I've tested it all, not all, but I've tested a bunch of them. And also I don't want to test everything. I usually see which direction people are going. Fanbase was one of them. I was on Fireside for a little bit, and then Chatter is the newest one that I was testing out. And, there are pieces that's good. It's not, to me, it's not, if I find a better app, I'm going to run from Clubhouse. I am still going to test stuff out until nobody shows up in Clubhouse anymore. Then I'll just, people still show up. Hello, Michael, in there. So the people still showing up. So I'm still here on both sides, but it might come to a point where it might just all be YouTube. And YouTube too. YouTube is a lot bigger, and YouTube, I would, I won't be surprised if one day Clubhouse would just go away. But YouTube would be a little bit more challenging for it to go. So, and that's why I'm expanding my options to different apps. I mean, I did some sound room in Chatter as well, an audio room. So there's like a channel called Audio, I added you in there, so you should be able to see me in there. So there's a channel called Audio, and it is to talk about audio stuff. It's kind of like this, as I'm just testing it. And I was just asking questions because I was new to the platform.
So this is in Chatter?
This is in Chatter, yeah. If you look for channel, there should be an audio channel. It's called Audio. It's not called Soundcheck. It's just called Audio. And that is the space that when I do go in, I will go in there and do my rooms there. I'm happy to test it out too. And maybe I'll see you in there. We can test stuff out.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
But yeah, like I said, it's only fair that if I go back in and try it again before I actually give any real assessment, because it's been 7 months since I've been back there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Fair
what
enough.
is it? Okay,
Absolutely.
let me see. I might personally have a little bit more faith in YouTube over Clubhouse. It could also disappear at any time, but more reliable. There you go. But the only thing is, it's not really the same. I do Clubhouse. I do YouTube because I was able to do the call-in section. The call-in functionality is not there for you on YouTube. And with a combination of Ecamm and Zoom, which I actually pay for. I pay for Zoom and I pay for Ecamm, but because it makes the possibility of people calling in a thing. And if it's not that, Rob won't be here. Like Rob is a good example. Like Rob, you found me just through YouTube, just like suggesting stuff for you, right?
Yeah, I was just going through the general
just surfing
surfing
for
YouTube.
You or something. Yeah. So
And
and plus, it is not something that it's not like I'm relying on this to make money. It's a hobby for me, and I'm happy to test out different platform because it it piques my interest, and so I'll definitely go check that out and then give you a full report. It may not be quickly, but I will like to spend some time, because my sister is here, so I'm a little bit busy. I don't have much time at home other than my Tuesdays. So I will check that out. Maybe I'll see you there. You can, come to, if you follow me, and you should be able to get notification, or if you follow the audio channel, and when I start a room, you should be able to see some notifications there.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Thank you all. And we will continue our conversation. Again, audio in general. So if you're interested in anything audio, come talk to us. No judgment. Doesn't matter where your audio level experience is. We just talk about it so that we can all learn together. And if you're more experienced, you share the knowledge with people who are less experienced. And that's the way to learn. All right. Thank you all so much. Thanks, Clubhouse people. Thanks, Michael. And thanks, Arthur. And thanks, Rob, for hanging around until the end. Bye, everybody.
Bye.